Hi, and welcome to SideBar The Show. Our guest today is Brendan Canning, an icon of Canadian music. He is a founding member of Broken Social Scene, as well as several other bands, and has released 3 solo albums. And let's not forget his contributions as a DJ, a film scorer, and as a mentor for younger musicians. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Don't forget those, Daniel. Done a lot of shit.
Anyway, we're going to hop into our first drink today, which is going to be the Brothers House Ale from MACKINNON Brothers.
Is that what this one is?
That
Mine's
is.
done.
So cheers.
Cheers. It was delicious. Which one was
I
that?
agree. The Brothers House Ale.
All right, let me catch up to you.
Re-catch up.
Re-catch up.
So my first question for you is, I know your first band, Head, with 2 H's, started in 1991.
Although you could really say that the precursor to that was when I met my bandmate in Head, Noah Mintz, at Brock University, and we had a group called The Happy.
The Happy?
Yeah, so just an acoustic duo that played like a few. Noah had written a couple originals. One was called Country Fuck. I think another song was Medicine Man. I brought in some chord changes for that one.
That's awesome.
And then we played a couple gigs at Brock University, like opening up for the Progressive Minstrels at the Midnight Club. That was my first gig with Noah because his band didn't want to show up, and in his band was Hayden.
Right. Oh,
so there you go.
Yeah.
Hayden. So there
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Bring it back full circle or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went backpacking throughout Europe with our guitars, as you do in 1990. Berlin Wall fell down a year before that, and then you're playing in the square in Prague, Czechoslovakia. You're playing Yellow Submarine. You got all these people coming, and then we came back and we saw some gigs over there. Saw Sonic Youth with Babes in Toyland, Grateful Dead, Jane's Addiction, stuff like that. And then when we got back, we're like, God, this acoustic thing is kind of lame.
Let's get.
So we started Head.
Head, yeah.
Yeah, and it's in around. Yeah, he met some guys in a music store at Long McQuaid.
Right.
And they were renting a PA, and the guy behind the counter was like, "You need a vocal mic?" And they're like, "We don't have a singer." And Noah's like, "I'm a singer." And then he said, "It's like, hey, I've jammed with these guys. They're pretty cool. There's no bass player." And I'm like, "Steve, can I borrow that bass?" And then I became a bass player, and that's how it goes.
That's funny. One of my other questions was going to be, how did it come to bass from guitar? And there you go. There's
That's
the
how
answer.
it was very much like,
You're answering questions I haven't even asked yet.
Yeah. Well, I because I listened to a lot of heavy metal growing up, and it's the 80s, and you listen to those records, there's not a lot of bass in the mix, unless you listen to Metallica.
Right.
Who had the audacity to put a bass solo on their debut album, which is a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Pour one out for.
I'm a big fan.
Pour one out for Cliff Burton,
Yeah.
here on your black carpet. Sorry, it's Cliff.
It's okay. You got to do it.
It's Cliff. I had here. I'll see. I've already hijacked the interview, but with Cliff Burton. So I had tickets for Metallica, and they were playing the concert hall when Cliff Burton was alive. And of course, it was like a fucking plane crash into their tour bus, like this fucking freak accident. Yeah, that's a freak accident. So Cliff Burton, like bass player of the legendary Metallica, dies. And my mom had my tickets for Metallica and Judas Priest. I had 10 tickets. She washed my jacket, and I was like, wow.
Oh, no.
Anyway, she went to Oshawa Center and somehow got all the tickets back. Anyway, I'm not going to pour them because my mom's still alive at 88, but
that's great.
Love my mom.
Yeah.
So that's how I became a bass player.
Yeah. So I guess my next question for you is, I know you won $100,000 in that radio contest, Discovery to Discs.
That's true.
Do you remember what the first thing your band spent the money on after you got it?
We went to Steve's music store and we all bought just new gear. It was David Eden. That was a popular thing. I might still. And there was a 4x10 cabinet and a David Eden head. And I used that shit for a while, and then had an EQ in it. Meanwhile, you don't need anything. You just need a good amplifier. But when you're 23 and it's like, holy shit, I just got all this money.
Huge budget.
And our drummer got a rack system, and I should have put my foot down there and be like, dude, that is so fucking lame. But I used to do this thing where I'd run up and leap off the drum rack, so it kind of became more like a piece of gymnasium equipment.
Right.
I did a lot of.
So there you go. It got its use.
I mean, it's very uncool though.
Yeah.
Even back then, I was like, yeah, we did okay for like a band with very minimal talent.
Yeah. So
minimal talent. But we did win $100,000. But
yeah. You
know
can't
what?
say minimal talent if you're winning radio contests.
Yeah, it was like a very much like the day before the contest deadline. And we had won it the year before, kind of, except the grand prize was like win a single with Polygram. And then when we met with Polygram, and it's like, well, we'll give you $1,500 to make a video, and we're just like, this deal sucks. You know,
I think they upped the ante the next year.
Yeah, they upped the
sure.
ante. So I said to my bandmates, I'm like, guys, we should just go record. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter if we won the year before. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm like, guys, it's a fucking $100,000.
Yeah.
You know, don't be stupid.
Exactly. What's the worst that happens?
Yeah, what's the
Worst
worst
that happens? You don't win $100,000.
Yeah,
the
it's
best
like
thing you did.
The bass player like does some big jumps and beats out lowest of the low. That was the other. I mean, that was the band who was supposed to win it,
right?
Because they had like songs on the radio and they were more popular. But we were a grunge band, and thanks to Kurt Cobain, it opened the floodgates for a lot of bands who weren't that good.
Yeah. So my next question is: you as a soccer fan, I know it kind of started with Kevin Keegan's long hair back in the day.
Oh yeah, where did I say that?
It began in the 70s growing up. I think it was probably the fact that Kevin Keegan had long hair.
You said that on Sports Center.
Yeah, because I still support Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, and so does my my tenant/roommate Freddie, who's from Zambia. Right. And he's a Liverpool fan too, so we have bonded over Liverpool.
Yeah. So you used to play like lots of indoor soccer back in the day and outdoor soccer when you were a kid.
Yeah, I played since I was 8.
Yeah.
You know, up till 2 years ago.
Yeah. How do you think the kind of Canada's qualifying for Qatar and that kind
haven't
of run
qualified officially yet, but unless
their run for qualification, which will soon pay off.
Yeah. I mean, we're too good. We're too good.
We are. How do you think that's going to affect the younger generation of soccer players and bringing more of that kind of energy to Canada?
I mean, I've waited a long time to actually give a shit about Canadian soccer. But I will say in 2019, when I saw Alphonso Davies and Canada played USA, I was just like, what the fuck is this guy?
Right.
It was just like, my mind was blown. I'm like, I've never seen a guy this good on this pitch here before. Right. It was just like,
yeah,
like the heavens opening.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, because like I was 16 when last time we were in the World Cup, but I don't remember anything about that because we were a boring fucking team.
Yeah.
I can't name you one person who was on the pitch in 1986, but I can name you like players who were on the Italian team in 1982.
Right.
Because I'm 12 and Paolo Rossi is the star of the World Cup, and it's like, here I am in my Italia shirt.
Right.
Here I am in 2010 in my Ghana shirt.
Yeah.
Whatever team was like trendy at the time. It's
yeah.
like I'm a trendy guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Canada, it's fucking awesome.
Well, we're gonna move on to our second drink here, which is the audio visual lager from Collective Arts.
Yeah, I like Collective Arts. Good dudes.
We're going to go into this thing what we call Backstage Pass.
Oh, okay.
Where I basically went backstage on a bunch of your social media and tried to find some pictures that we would love some more explaining.
Oh, okay.
Here is the first one.
Oh, yeah. That's when we were making Hug of Thunder. And I just, it's like, been in the studio for long enough. You just like, let's make our hair as fucked up as possible.
How about this one?
Oh, yeah. So we were Cannon dolls for the Nutcracker. It was the year, I guess every year they, the Nutcracker Suite performs at National Ballet.
Yeah.
And yeah, they get like celebrities. So
are all of the Cannonball celebrities?
Yeah, I think I think Matt Sundin was one at one point, and Rob Ford was maybe a Cannon doll too. Rest in peace.
Hold on, because this is the next picture.
And that was
this.
Oh yeah,
related to?
No, that's just backstage at the Andy Kim Christmas show. And if you don't know who Andy Kim is, he does a charity show every year, but he also is the same guy who was from the group The Archies, who wrote the song Sugar Sugar.
Sugar Sugar.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. Tragically Hip tour when I was with By Divine Right on the Phantom Power tour. Why I'm wearing a fucking tie, I will never know. you know what? At the end of that tour, I passed kidney stones. Oh, it was fucking.
Oh
brutal.
no.
Well, I'd never been on a bus tour before, or like, oh, it's catering every night. It's like, well, I guess I'll get another piece of cheesecake. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, you wake up, and you're like, you know, your body like relaxes, like, oh, damn. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have done that MDMA in Vancouver as well. And then you just get home and you're like, your body collapses.
Right.
Like, truly.
Yeah.
Feist and Peaches picked me up from fucking the emergency.
No
So
way.
I'm just like lying in the hall. Yeah, it didn't even get a room. I was just in the hallway, like on fucking morphine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway,
What a story.
not my shining. Well, but that tour was, Phantom Power tour was fun. I mean, the Hip. I enjoyed seeing the Hip, and I liked seeing like, kind of gave me a little peep into like, okay, time to get my fucking career in
Right.
order. You know, let's get a little more professional about things.
Yeah,
And just
yeah.
like, this is not all fun and games. It's like at some point you got to make a decent few records and make some money.
Yeah. I also found this picture of you holding a DJ Khaled sign.
Oh, that was just, you know, I was at the SNL end of, like, because my ex in New York, she used to work at SNL, and this guy, Hal Wilner, I should be pouring one out for Hal. You know what? We got to pour one out for
Okay, we
Hal.
got to pour one out for Hal.
If you ever look up Hal Wilner, he's he's one of the fucking he's probably one of the most legendary people was lucky enough to come into contact with in the music business.
My name is Hal Wilner.
A wonderful friend to me, to so many people that worked at Saturday Night Live.
Just always laughing and always smiling and just love to talk about music.
When I was at SNL, he used to come up to my dressing room and just share music with me.
Every old record, every new record.
This is Frank Zappa from the late 60s.
Did you ever hear of the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo? And he knew what the answer was.
When it's all working, there's nothing like it. I mean, I kind of get off on the danger. That's the era that, hey, this could really up. Or this is going to be so magical.
He had a show in the 80s called David Sanborn's like a jazz fusion saxophone guy, but it was called Night Watch.
Right.
So he'd like throw just like, here's Sun Ra and the Replacements. And he has like, he's a real producer, like a visionary. And people like Hal Wilner are just like, you know, they just don't come around.
Right.
And you're so lucky that, oh, you know what? Like my orbit has like ended me up in a room with like,
Right.
God, who's the guy from Portlandia? What's his name?
Oh, Fred Armisen.
Yeah, Fred Armisen's in
I
on the
saw-
session.
I saw someone, I was watching a Instagram story, and the guitarist of the Blue Stones named his guitar Shred Armisen.
I am a neon light.
And I was like, oh, that's amazing. I love Fred Armisen.
Yeah. Hal did the music. He did the music for the skits on SNL for
Right.
years.
Right.
And we were playing at Webster Hall. I think that was like summer of 2019. And so me, Leanne, that was my ex from like, 20
in the
years
day,
ago.
yeah.
We kept having, it's like, 6 years later, it's like, oh, I guess we're hooking up again. Even like
Yeah.
10 years, like 20 years later, it was like
Still on and off for 20 years.
Yeah. It's crazy how life,
Yeah.
throws you curveballs.
Now, I'm curious,
like
if someone asked you, how long have you been dating? In the later years, did you say?
Oh no, that was the last time with Leanne.
Yeah.
Just giving you some personal gossip
Yeah.
there.
That's,
But anyway, like 2:30 in the morning, we go to this SNL party. I'm with my friend Eric, who I know from the Metro in Chicago.
Yeah.
When I first met him on the Tragically Hip tour. Just to give you an example of like how relationships carry over, because, Eric becomes a Michelin-rated chef.
Right.
And he's in New York. He's, it's like, okay, me, Eric, Leanne, let's go meet Hal at the SNL party. And of course, DJ Khaled was performing, so there's a sign. So it's like a photo op.
Yeah. So our next drink we're going to do is the Daft Brewing True Level Fiesta Goes. Fiesta Goes?
Oh, it's a Gose or something? I think that's what you call
Is
it.
that
like
Gose?
G-O-S-E?
Gose.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have the Asante Goût. Is that
Uh,
the right one?
I think so, but I
Go
think
grade 9
I think
French.
it is a Gose.
Yeah, okay.
And
Well,
this is a sour beer.
yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure. Yeah, I like the sours. Oh
I'm
yeah, I
also
like
a
that
fan
one.
of Sour.
Yeah,
There's a lot of flavor in that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know you film scored tons of movies, including Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
Canadian classic. Right?
We didn't actually score that. What we contributed to Scott Pilgrim versus the World, okay, Anthems got licensed.
Yeah.
One of the songs from my solo record got licensed. I think it was Churches Under the Stairs. We did the music for Crash and the Boys.
Right.
My name is Crash. These are the boys.
Is that girl a boy too?
Yes.
They have a girl drummer.
The song is called I Am So Sad. I am so very, very sad. Goes a little something like this. Thank you.
Right.
And then we also went to London to do some scenes, like because they had temped in Feel Good Lost.
Right.
In some of the scenes. So Nigel Godrich, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, why don't you guys
yeah.
just come over here and for 5 days and we'll just like hammer out some demos.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a big, you know,
Yeah.
they got lots of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, we went for 5 days, worked with Nigel Godrich, which was like
Pretty
fucking-
cool.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. But anyway, yeah, Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah.
that was a cool one. Nice experience.
Yeah. So you did have that kind of scoring experience, but you also have 3 acting credits on your record, which is Time Traveler's Wife, which you were the wedding band.
Oh yeah, the wedding band. Yeah. Yeah.
And then also you have one for, it was Omen of the Goblet.
What the fuck is that? Oh, is that a Spooky Reuben thing?
You must rescue him immediately.
OT Biggs, Nob Hill Gardens.
I used to play in a guy named Spooky Reuben's band.
Yeah.
I was like, he was the first guy to take me to England and Japan, and his management, who also managed Our Lady Peace. They were like, don't miss your boat, you know. I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. Believe you me, I would love to do as much acting as possible.
Yeah.
but
Well, for all the producers out there looking
Yeah.
for talent,
I'm
there you go.
very niche skill set,
Yeah.
though, unfortunately.
You play your character, and then you're like typecast as you.
Yeah, I mean, I could play very nasty person, but it would be like more like a dark mumblecore or sociopathic kind of thing where I'm just like a fucking asshole.
Right.
Which I'd love to do that.
There you go. So if anyone's looking for that right now.
Yeah, anyone's got like a really dark movie where it's like, yeah, this guy's despicable.
Yeah.
I'd love to play that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna cut to commercial. We'll be right back in a sec, but thanks for watching.
You know what sprinters eat before they run a race? Nothing. They fast. The other day I went to see my psychiatrist in a swimsuit, and he said I was mentally ill. His exact words were, "I can clearly see your nuts."
Clearly see your nuts.
Thanks for sticking with us, and we're going to go on to our next drink, which is the CROSSCUT Canadian Ale from MACKINNON Brothers. So cheers.
Cheers to the MACKINNON Brothers.
To the MACKINNON Brothers. So we're going to go into what we call the lightning round, where I'm going to ask you some pretty quick, easier questions.
Sure.
So what is your favorite record store in Toronto?
Rotate.
Rotate, yeah. What's one thing you couldn't live without?
Couldn't live without my little doggy, Herbie Hancock Jr.
Herbie Hancock Jr. What kind of dog is it?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Always Chihuahuas.
My girlfriend has 2 Chihuahuas, and then her grandparents have 2 Chihuahuas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when they all get together, let me tell you, it's
You're the best dog. I mean, I love all dogs.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. How can you not?
Most dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, they're small.
Yeah.
Easy to take care of.
Yeah. What's one trend you'd like to end?
Oh, good question. Trend I'd like to end. I don't know, man. Just like comment threads. Although comment threads are sometimes funny, but sometimes it's just like
It's too much. It's like
just
too.
get so either like mean-spirited or like racist.
Microsoft's AI Twitter bot Tay is racist and down with genocide. The bot was meant to respond to users' questions and emulate casual comedic speech patterns of a typical millennial. Tay quickly turned into an N-bomb dropping racist, spouting white supremacist propaganda and calling for genocide.
It's like really fucking quick. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought we were talking. It's like, oh, you just popped in here. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going on to our last drink, which is the artisanal dried gin from Collective Arts as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Get on Collective Arts. Here, drink to Collective Arts.
Collective Arts.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, no, it is.
You shot that down, eh? Look at you.
That's the name of the game, I guess.
That's the name of the game.
Okay, so we're going to our last set of questions. And the first one is, when you wake up in Paris or New York or wherever you're touring at the time and working with all these amazing artists, do you ever think, like, I am now living the dream that 16-year-old Brendan Canning had at the time?
Yeah, there's plenty of, I can't think of one particular one, but yeah, it's like you doing 3 nights in Paris, and it's like you go for breakfast at that same spot, and you get your omelet with, French herbs and whatever, you get your baguette at the same place. Stuff like that is, or you wake up in Austin, Texas, and like, you get to the breakfast spot early, but you're just like, oh, it's nice out. You're sipping your coffee. You're looking around. It's like, yeah, man, that's fucking rad.
Yeah.
I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be somewhere else tomorrow. And the gig sold out. We're playing to 2,000 people. Yeah, it's a dream. Yeah, it's a dream.
It is. It is. My last question is, I know Broken Social Scene celebrating 20 years at Massey Hall, 2 nights in April.
Yep.
What are you most excited for coming back to play?
It's not excitement at this point. It's more just the general anxiety that you just want everything to go smooth. You haven't played a gig in 2.5 years. Not everyone hasn't been the smoothest ride as a band.
Maybe too many cheesecakes for some people on the buffet.
I wish it were as simple as that. I wish life were as simple as that. But life gets a little more complicated. And you've been a band for 20 years.
That's a very huge accomplishment.
As Neil Young says, it's like, what is it? It's like some get old, some get strange. Sooner or later, it all gets real.
Right.
And that's a very profound, when someone sent me that lyric, it was actually Amy Milan sent me that lyric. I'm like, yeah, life is a fucking crazy ride.
Yeah.
But I just want everything to go nice and as smooth as a Broken Social Scene ride. Because it's always like, it's different if you're on a tour.
Right.
And it's like, okay, we're good. That was a good show tonight. Band sounded good. Truck is packed. Close it up. Go out for a drink. Come back to the bus for 2 a.m. Go on to the next town.
Right.
So this is more just like, okay, let's rehearse. Do we all still like each other? These are serious questions.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't seen you in, a year or whatever. Right. It's like the last thing we did together was at New Year's Eve, not this one, but the year before. Like a whatever online concert.
Right.
It's just fucking,
Well, that's all we have.
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, let's end on the positive. We're going to fucking kick some fucking ass that night.
On a nice note, a way to end it is, for all you at home, if you wanted to say any of the cameras, this is where you can listen to our new stuff, and this is where you can buy our new records. Are they pressing the newest release?
Old Dead Young.
Old Dead Young? Are they pressing it?
It's coming out on vinyl and compact disc.
So go to your local spot and pick up a copy.
I think it'll be out come like May, and then of course like reissue records. There's whatever. You can find Broken Social Scene records, but if you don't want to buy those, buy something else.
Yeah.
Buy like Kiwi Jr.
Yeah. I love Kiwi Jr.
Or buy Big Thief or I don't know. Plenty of good Kendrick Lamar records.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have all those.
Yeah.
It's like
we're waiting for the next one. It's coming.
You know what's funny? I had a couple hoodlums come over the other night, and he's doing a Jay Dilla documentary.
No way.
Yeah. And they're like going through my records, and he's like, stakes is high. He's like, how much you want to sell this for? I'm like, I don't know, make me an offer. He's like, $130? He gave me $130. And then I went on Discogs. I'm like, wait a minute, that's like a $350 record. But he never even took the record home that night. So I'm just gonna, if he ever comes, well, he may come back. I'll just be like, dude, come on.
Right.
That was just a down payment.
Yeah, that was a down
You were
payment.
wasted. You don't remember? He was like grabbing. He was like one of those like drunk guys, like grabbing me and shaking me.
Yeah.
It's like wow, we barely know each other, and you're just manhandling me. This was just a couple nights ago. I'm like, what the fuck? I must be bored. Just like, sure, come on over. That's what kind of pandemic it's been.
Yeah.
Just like a couple drunken dudes. Sure, you guys can come over.
Well, that's what we are, on the show. So
yeah.
So stay on. We're gonna get a little piano diddly from our lovely guest here, Brendan. And thanks for staying with us. See ya.
That's it. It's a piano